Hey guys, here to talk about more Sonic Frontiers. I got a little bit of hot chocolate with me. It's getting cold where I'm at. Anyways, if you want to support me, check out Buy My Coffee down below. There's a little icon down there. And in my description, if you want to, you can donate or give a super thanks. It's all up to you because YouTube demonetizes my Sonic videos for some reason sometimes. Anyways, I want to talk about this topic. So, let's do. Hands on. You know what? Sonic Frontiers might actually be okay. Right? That's what this article says. Sonic Frontiers might be okay. We played Sonic Frontiers at EGX not once but twice. Normally, we wouldn't put ourselves through a Sonic demo more than necessary, and the queue was, as you'd expect, constantly lengthy. The trouble is, after playing a 15-minute slice of the open zone experience for the first time, we realized something rather shocking. Had we really just enjoyed a 3D Sonic game? Is such a thing even possible? As we simply sleep deprived and dehydrated for science and our own sanity, we had to check. We're obviously being a little facetious here, but it's basically truth. Our expectations for Sonic Team's latest attempt were frankly quite low before sitting down to play it. And that's my whole feeling too. I haven't even played it yet, but I changed my mind. I don't think that way anymore, right? The earliest footage of the game was hardly encouraging, and that's without considering the hedgehog's spotty history of 3D platformers. Opinions on Frontiers have been all over the place since its reveal earlier this year. Okay. So, I get that. A lot of people just had this skepticism because Sonic Team has made a bunch of fumbles in the past, and Forces was their latest fumble in which we thought they were going to end the Boost trilogy on a bang. I get it. Opinions on Frontiers have been all over the place, obviously. So we need to keep that sentiment. A brief cutscene tells us Sonic has escaped cyberspace and arrived on the first series of islands, Starfall Islands, will make up the bulk of the game, and Hedgehog's main objective is to search these environments with the Chaos Emeralds so he could have his curl for friends return home. To be honest, we're not too fussed about all that. We want to feel how Sonic controls. We want to feel how Sonic controls because that's been our main grievance with the Blue Barrel since he discovered this Z-axis. Basically, since this man's been on 3D controls. Since Sonic's been on 3D controls, it's been a problem, right? I can see that. We're somewhat surprised to find we have more control over Sonic's movements than we recall from previous 3D games. It's difficult to pinpoint precisely what is different, but it is different in a good way. It's possibly down to the game offering you far more open space to just run around in. There are far fewer opportunities to inadvertently fling to the mascot to his doom. We played with the slightly slower control method, which may have been why jumps felt easier to predict and perform. Maybe, just maybe, Sonic Team has ironed out some of the rough edges that have made the character so finicky in the past. All we really know is that we genuinely quite enjoy simply moving around in Frontier's grassy plains. The side loop ability Sonic has in this game is a nice addition to his moveset too. Now, I know you have to unlock this via a skill tree and some gameplay I saw. It's like in the tutorials, this game makes you go get the side loop in the tutorials. And then I'm guessing later you unlock more abilities as you get through the game. Sonic Team's been quiet. They don't want to tell us what's going on in this game. It has a few uses, but comes most handy in combat. You can trace a shape on the ground, and closing it will cause some sort of reaction inside. If enemies are in the loop, they'll be popped into the air, where you could give them a few smacks. This works on larger baddies, as well as potentially forcing them to drop their guard or exposing a weak point. So there's some parry, there's some defense and offense. So maybe you have to break a enemy's block so you can actually get some hits into them. You know, it's pretty cool. Speaking of combat, we're not sure what to make of it yet. Lowly grunt enemies are easy to dispatch with Sonic's usual homing attack, or you could spam the button for a flurry of hits. This was also entirely how we dealt damage. So while we appreciate there would be more moves to unlock, our experience was pretty repetitive. A very generous parry ability, lock on, and dodging all makes fights pretty easy, which they arguably should be, we suppose, but we weren't enamored either way. So the thing is, like, there's going to be new abilities. There's going to be better fighting moves. So yeah, of course it's going to be repetitive because you can't use any other moves. But as you play through the game, you get to unlock new moves and get to use them on these enemies. We're also a bit unsure about the environmental design. As you uncover the map, by completing simple puzzles, you'll slowly reveal floating rings. So I'm guessing in a more traditional Sonic 3D game, you get to use like light dash. You know, in Frontiers, these feel jarringly incongruous with the rest of the environment. They also pop in like nobody's business. The trouble is we understand why they're there. Grinding on rails, bouncing up to little hidden platforms. You know, you get to sort of find shortcuts and explore that world. Find little secrets. That's what an open world game is all about, right? In our second play of the demo, we got to try Cyberspace Levels, which we believe was based on Sky Sanctuary. A significant change of pace from the open zone, these stages are short, fast-paced bursts of sort of levels you will know from past 3D Sonic outings, which was the past 3 games, right? Mainline games like Generations, Sonic Unleashed, and Forces. We blitzed through it in less than a minute, and then there was a very little challenge, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing, but hopefully these levels fill out and present you with more to think about as the game progresses. We've drawn out a few negatives in this preview, but overall we came away from the demo feeling a little better about Sonic Frontiers. That's good. That's good. So overall, it seems like they have nothing bad to say. This article is by Push Square. Overall, they think it's something new. It's something cool. They appreciated the nice movement of the hedgehog. The melee was okay. They have a criticism about the cyberspace levels because they were less than a minute. But overall, it seems like Sonic is looking good. So tell me down below, what do you think? All right, peace.